Okay, I'm at El Malpais, El Calderon hike here. Driving in off of Highway 53, and no, I'm not wearing my seatbelt, but I'm going very slow down a dirt road, gravel road. It is very windy today. I'm at the trailhead now of the El Calderon, which is located, hopefully you can see it right here on the map. Here is Grants, New Mexico. You drive down 53 and you get to the El Calderon. Yesterday I was at El Morro, which I am staying there at a cabin in an RV park right now. I'm gonna go check out El Calderon, which has an old volcano that there's a volcano center cone you can walk around, and there's some caves, lava tubes and stuff. Should be a pretty cool trip, so I hope you'll join me as I go through El Calderon at El Malpais. Okay, apologies for the wind. Got a junction here. Junction Cave is 0.1 mile, so a tenth of a mile to the left. The Bat Cave is 0.7. The entire loop trail 3 miles. Maybe that's the start of the loop trail. I'm gonna go this way to the Junction Cave and check it out. I've got a headlamp and give it a little introduction into lava tube caving. So let's go. Okay, I'm at the mouth of Junction Cave. It's not very far from the parking lot, but it is close to the public. There is a gated area, which I'm assuming that's the main part of the cave, because the other side behind me of wherever I'm filming, looks like you can walk through that tube right there. Kind of gives you an intro to lava tube caving. Lots of interesting species in here. Talk about those in a second. Hey, by the way, if you're liking this video, smash that like to let YouTube know that you approve of my content and that gets out to other people. Thanks. According to the self-guided tour information, they did a 1995 study of the caves in the El Malpais, and Junction Cave had more cave-adapted species than any other cave surveyed at the time. Most of the life is small to microscopic, lives in dark corners under rocks and in deep cracks. They found the life is divided into 4 categories. You have accidentals, troglazines, troglophiles, and troglobites. Let's get deeper in the cave and talk about those. I'm standing in this upper portion of Junction Cave. This is the only part that's open to the public. I was just looking at it a second ago, not realizing what I was looking at. This is what it looks like to the outside. Just a small little tube here. You can see the rocks closest to me have that bumpy appearance. Kind of look almost like pumice or almost like steel wool or something like that. That's because their texture is very rough. So I can step over here without falling down. Yeah, their texture is very rough. I probably should have had my glove zone down here, a little rougher than I expected. But you can go right out here to exit the cave. Pretty neato. So let's get out of the cave first, then we'll talk about the different types of life that are found down here. How's that sound? And this is looking behind me as I entered the little part of the tube here. So, pretty wild. So if you want to experience some lava tube caving, this cave is open all year round for this particular little section of it. And you can come see what lava tube caving is about. I'm planning on coming down here and doing another video during that time when the caves open back up, the lava tube caves open back up, which will be in April. Okay, right here you have an area called the Double Sinks. You have a big sinkhole lava tube thing over here. Take a look. Sorry about the wind again. Whoa. So you got a lava tube there, and you have one on the other side of the path. Let's take a look at it. Whoa. That's crazy. All right, pretty amazing spot right here. This particular lava tube is known as the Bat Cave. I don't know if Batman's in there or not. He might be taking a rest from all the criminals that he's been fighting. But I digress. Somewhere between 1,000 to 100,000 bats are found in this Bat Cave. They fly out during the summer months or warmer months to eat insects, mostly Brazilian freetail or Mexican freetail bats. I've heard them called both. Unfortunately, they're fighting a disease throughout the country called white nose syndrome, which has taken the lives of millions of bats across the country. These bats, of course, consume millions of insects that are in the agricultural fields in the surrounding area. So the impact that white nose syndrome could have on the bats by eliminating them as part of the food web could be detrimental to agriculture. It's a good time to talk about the 4 different types of cave life, which I mentioned earlier when I was at Junction Cave. I'm guessing Junction Cave is so named because of the junction that it has. So you have troglodynes, accidentals, troglophiles, and troglobites. So troglodynes, pardon me, I'm reading this off of the NPS page here. They live above ground, do not depend on the cave for survival. So that would be bats and mice. Bats take shelter in there, but they don't use the cave as survival other than for shelter. Mice come in there to seek some things out, but they leave. Troglophiles may live their entire lives in the cave, but are not fully adapted to the cave environment, such as spiders and beetles. Troglobites live their entire life and are completely dependent on the cave, such as mites and certain types of insects. I think that covers everything. Yeah, so right here you have a lava trench. Ooh, the wind. I'm trying to stand over here to the side. You got a lava trench here. They're formed in the same way as a lava tube, just the roof collapses. And you can see there's a lot more vegetation in the bottom because water collects there. It allows those trees to grow bigger in the bottom rather than on the edge. Okay, right here, there is a sign. You can go down this old road here, back to the parking area. It's 1 mile if you go that way. I think according to my Garmin watch, I have been going about 1.6, so I'm making about a 3-mile loop. But you can go to Cinder Cone, which is 0.2 miles this way. And what would be the point of going to El Calderon without checking out the Cinder Cone? Because you can actually walk around it and do the things. So let's go check it out. Okay, El Calderon is right there. Climb up it in a minute, but it's 2 o'clock, or that's right around 2 o'clock. Get some food here. I got a little lunch on the run. Tuna salad, crackers, fruit cookie from Bumblebee with a spork included. How nice. Alrighty. So, I'm right here at the Cinder Cone. You can tell it's a little bit different up here because the soil's all black. It's just broken down lava, basalt. You can go this way to get a view of the crater. It's 1/10 of a mile. And you can return to the parking area, which is 1.3 miles. I'm going to get a view of the crater because I want to. I'm here. Let's take a look. Then we'll go back to the parking lot. Over there you got the chain of craters, I'm pretty sure, which is a backcountry byway. Not always accessible. Far over there, more of El Malpais. You have an intermingling of BLS and National Park Service lands here. I'm just walking around the rim, and if you can see over here, my assumption is that El Calderon was more like that mountain straight ahead there through the trees. Instead, today we're walking around the rim and just a big crater, because whenever it was an active volcano, it just blew its top and all this magma all over this, what is now El Malpais. Here's another trail marker. Just blew up over the whole area. And you can see over there where you walk down. Look at the trees there. But now it's more of a cinder cone rather than actually a mountaintop. But how often do you get to walk around the top of a extinct or dormant volcano? Not very often. Only other place in New Mexico, only other place I really know of that you can do it, in the immediate area is Capulan National Monument, which is up in northeastern New Mexico. So apologies again for the wind. I believe over here to the right, past this one that's closest to us, the one that's closest to us I believe is Twin Craters, which is this two mountains over here. Then we have Lost Woman Crater, and then spanning back over here is private land, which is known as the Bandera Crater and the Bandera Crater Ice Cave. And then behind it to the left, if you look at the map here, Cerro Bandera. You would think an ice cave, maybe it's not really made of ice, but you would think an ice cave would be open in the wintertime, but it's not. So I have to come back down when it's open again. Now I'm on the other side of the cinder cone and about to walk down El Malpais, way out there where those bluffs are. I'll probably be doing that tomorrow. At least one of the trails over in that area. We'll check that out. A little tricky to film going down. You do have to backtrack a little bit on top of the cinder cone and come to this stairway, which is easy to miss. I started trying to go down and then I found the stairway and came down. And then you just go this way, back to the junction, and then we'll go to the junction where we saw earlier, which takes us back to the parking lot. Great view of the cinder cone from as low as you can get. It was a social trail here, but it's like they've marked it off. But I walked around that entire top of the cinder cone. Now we're gonna head back to the parking lot junction. Okay, you can't set enough for your choices, but to the right down this dirt road here, you can go 0.9 miles to the parking lot back where I started. The El Malpais Information Center, 3.1 miles. The Continental Divide Trail is 1 mile ahead, and then to continue the loop via the Continental Divide, you're adding another mile on top of that. I'm going to go the 2 miles, but you're welcome if you hike this trail to take a shortcut back to the parking lot or go even longer and go to the info center. Something I forgot to share with you, and you can definitely see it here. These ponderosas that are growing along the edge of the trail are actually growing along the edge of the lava field. And the scientists really don't know why you have trees growing like that, but it's known as the edge effect. And it's theorized that there's more water that kind of collects in pools near the edge of the lava flow due to all those little fissures and cracks and crevices, and it allows more tree growth because there's more water. The other thing I wanted to share with you, which I forgot when I was on top of the cinder cone, is there was 2 different eruption points in El Calderon's history. It happened about 60,000 years ago, so way before there was any humans in this part of the world. Really and truly before there was humans around. Excuse me. Period. But one ejected this black type lava, and one ejected more of a red. Hopefully you can see this behind me. There's Continental Divide Junction right there. And I'm going to continue this way. Going this way, flip it around. We have the end of the El Calderon Loop Trail. We have the parking area, and the Continental Divide Trail keeps going that way. Porter Ranch Road, 3 miles, and Encerrito Junction is 6.8. So, if you're not aware of what the Continental Divide is, which we're on it right now, we just merged with it. It is a cross-country trail starting in kind of the Boot Hill area, what we call it here in New Mexico, down on the Mexican border. If you've been watching my stuff for a while, you may have seen some videos of that where I got on there when I was working in that area back in April. It was down in the Deming area down in southern New Mexico. And anyways, pretty cool trail. I guess it's probably the mid lengthwise one, but it might be the hardest one because it's in more rural, remote countryside compared to the AT or the Pacific Crest Trail. for the majority of its length, as it goes all the way through New Mexico from top to bottom, then to Colorado, then to Wyoming, then up into Montana, and it finishes at the Canadian border in Glacier National Park. So that's your 101 quickie about Continental Divide Trail. Okay, coming up to the trailhead parking area. Almost done. Stay tuned for a sum up. Okay, so that was quite an interesting adventure. Took me about 5.5 miles. Not sure of the exact figure. The official Park Service mileage is 5.6 if you do the entire thing, including going up on the center cone and going the long way back using the Continental Divide Trail. Relatively flat throughout. There is a slight incline if you start from this direction here, which was where I started, going to the, I guess, the east side of the loop, rather than starting on the Continental Divide Trail, which is pretty flat in this section. What were your observations about this? What do you think? How do you feel about this? I thought it was a cool thing, and I've not really been able to do that except for one other place, walk around a dormant volcano, the Cinder Cone. That was also here in New Mexico. But I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Think about subscribing to the channel for more content like this. And leave a comment below. Let me know if you've been here, if you have questions, and what you thought about this particular hike. With that being said, I bid you adieu, and we'll see you out on the trail. Okay, bye.